As our worth increases, we lose interest in those who don't see it. Stuart Jordan. Now, the writings of Rudy J. Camarillo. Excuse the exterior noise, for we are doing an exterior reading near LAX. As our worth increases, we lose interest in those who do not see it. Stuart Jordan. Now, the writings of Rudy J. Camarillo. My worth, your worth, our worth. In one way or another, we all have substantial worth, and we are all worthy of love, respect, justice, and truth. But even though we are all worthy and deserving, it does not mean that we will all receive it. And in fact, the more you are worth, the less you may be valued by those of who are intimidated, jealous, envious, or malicious in character. For these soul suckers, energy vampires, and jealous people will do what they can to hide and hold down your worth to justify or make their worth appear to be of equal or greater value. This is because they do not understand their worth, nor own psychology. And all having begun in equality, the only thing that diminishes your worth is trying to hold back or tear down another's, proving that they do not understand their worth and do not understand your worth. And do understand your worth. This has occurred upon me on an astronomical level before the world, having my blessed works as an author stolen, emulated, and embraced in the dark, while denying me the ability to embrace my gifts and the proceeds of my works. Now having 56,000 hours of work stolen and remarketed for nearly $1 billion by churches, civilians, police, firefighters, and anyone else who felt as if it were their duty to do the devil's deeds. All of which will be returned should the United States of America uphold their and international laws, having the 27th article of human rights, protecting my works as an author and intellectual property with not even presidential immunity. And worth is the very reason that the human rights articles covered such workings. Because as an artist, author, and creator, your works are a part of what gives you worth and who you are. And the theft of such is to truly devalue an author, artist, and creator. And I am most certainly an author, creator, and artist of the author of authors, creator of creators, and artist of artists. This was all an attempt to take away my worth and value, but as always, karma, God, justice will always reign supreme and have their way with the evildoers in the dark. Aside from all the jealousy, hate, deceit, corruption, and blatant fraudulence, still I kept my worth and value as if it was true and internal, understanding that they could never diminish my worth, only strengthen it and diminish their own in return. As my worth increased, I had begun to lose interest in all of who had attempted to diminish it. At first, I had tried to get through to the jealous, dishonest, and deceitful to see my worth and the truth. But after years of this, I had simply lost interest in all of who were my enemy and incapable of understanding myself, themselves, or our walk upon this earth as proper human beings. For their mental insufficiencies and jealousies had evolved into that of which I could not comprehend, but could understand, being elevated in my understandings of human psychology. As one who sees all and understands most, I had finally understood that they don't understand and how and what they do understand is impure and incorrect. Having the people of the United States taking it to mind-boggling levels of malice, cruelty, and immaturity, even attempting to take away my name as if it were not known, but being internationally famous from my works, writings, creations, and freedom fighting, I'm capable of walking into any country in the world and having them know exactly who I am and what my name is. But this was an ill attempt by the demonic to devalue, discredit, and diminish my worth in the name of their insecurities, sadism, and need for entertainment over enlightenment. Performed as a tactic of control by those of who have not control over themselves, which in the psychology world is obvious, along with the self-projection that has accompanied it. Now, I'm not saying that these tactics of torture did not work as far as making me miserable and at times depressed beyond belief, but they did not take away from my worth or the truth as they had planned. Understanding that it was all environmentally engineered by jealous, evil, and demonic people, I remain certain that it was temporary and situational. After all, before you diagnose yourself with depression, you must first ensure that you're not surrounded by idiots and dumbasses. Now recovering from the barrage of idiocracy and attempts to maliciously maim, while still amongst it, I have simply learned to overlook and award no value to those of who have chosen to partake in the scandalous operation that has evolved into a RICO case of the largest of scales. A case that will take some time and years to accomplish, but ultimately will add value to my worth physically, financially, and spiritually. Yes, this has been a long process of torture by all Geneva definitions, but it was survived by understanding that to survive the attacks, you must lose interest in those performing them, as opposed to losing your value to them. It was also survived and thrived through with the God-given gift of wisdom and anointings, understanding karma and the workings of our world. So on this day, I ask you, no matter how painstaking the Walker abuse is being rendered, continue to lose value in the opinions of others and not yourself. As much of my walk has not only been for me, mine and our Father, but also as an example to any of you who have endured the same, only on a lesser scale. How will you gain personal value while letting go of their value ... today? Now you guys hear the horns, the sirens, the alarms? That's what they've been doing for years. It's part of the torture scandal. Those are the malicious minds that have yet to evolve. This country is ill. Your people are ill. Jealous, deceitful, scandalous, and fraudulent. Amen. Shalom as always.